Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, today's video, I'm going to give you guys my review on the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the multiplayer, DMZ, Warzone, from a perspective of a GTA player, right? Now, even though I talk about this a lot on the live streams, but some of you guys may not know, the first online video game I ever played was Call of Duty Finest Hour. It was a first-person shooter, PvP, right? And then I went on to play other FPS games like Battlefield 2, Modern Combat for the PS2. I became world ranked on that game. I talk about that on my streams too. But I started out as a first-person, shooter type kind of guy, right? And then I, transitioned into other games, Battlefield 4, then GTA, and then it's kind of the rest is history, right? So I do have a lot of know-how and experience with FPS games. It's not like I just picked this up and started playing it So I wanted to talk about the new version where of Modern Warfare 2 made by Infinity Ward, the new Warzone, which is their new battle royale. And just kind of give you guys my opinions on it, just my personal opinions, my review on not only the multiplayer but the new DMZ, which is like an exfiltration type kind of like Escape from Tarkov, right? Which I never played that game. Never had a lot of experience with exfil type kind of FPS games, but we'll talk about that. And then the new Warzone, because like it or not, man, I'm sorry, multiplayer is not going anywhere with COD. However, nor is Warzone. Warzone is here to stay. Battle Royales are here to stay. Battle Royales have been around for a long time, and they are extremely popular with Call of Duty games. That's just all there is to it. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I enjoy them. I like them a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. So I always sort of kind of give you my perspective and point of view and my overall review on the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 by Infinity Ward. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the multiplayer. With the Call of Duty community, they're very, very passionate. It's always 50-50, right? It's either 50% love it, 50% hate it. It's just all there is to it. So a lot of people love Modern Warfare 2 because it resembles Modern Warfare 2019. That was kind of like in the modern era, or the modern Call of Duty games the past like 5, 6, 7 years. That is the status quo. Then Cold War came out, and that had mixed reviews as well, but this wasn't as good as 2019 for a lot of people. I'm not saying you, right? It's for a lot of people though. And then Vanguard, and Vanguard's a good game, right? It was a World War II themed game, and people just weren't feeling that though. Again, not saying you weren't. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. I'm just saying that's just my that was my feelings towards the community. People just really didn't like Vanguard, and with Vanguard came a new Warzone map, which was called Caldera. Now, for the longest time, Warzone, with the original map was called Verdansk, right? And it was great. I loved the Verdansk map. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I loved the whole 2019 Modern Warfare, style that they made Warzone. It was simplistic. The ammo was simplistic. The crates were color coded. You knew what was the better ones to go for. It just, in my opinion, it just flowed. The map was great. Once they came out with Caldera, though, it was really a whole new map. And 2019 was only out for a year, maybe a year and a half. And people were like, "Oh, we want a new map. We want a new map." People just get greedy. They get they have a good thing. They want they give me more. Give me. Give me that next TikTok reel, right? And I was telling people what you should do, or what they should do, is keep Verdansk in the game, make a new map, and if you want to play it, you can play it. And if not, then you can go back to Verdansk. Similar to what they did with Rebirth, right? It's a different type of map, but they kept the other ones in the game as well, right? No, Ty, no. People are like, no, we just need a new map. It's the other one, Verdansk, old still. Well, Caldera came out, and gross. Nobody liked it, right? It was terrible. So with this game, not only do you have multiplayer, which resembles 2019, which a lot of people like, which is what you're seeing right here. They have the DMZ mode, which is an exfil. So basically, think of it like this: you have a big map. It's the Warzone map, but it's not a battle royale per se. It is your objectives are completing missions. Think of it like it's like a single player story mode hybrid. It's player versus enemy. So there's bots in the game, there's AI, and you're competing against them. You're accomplishing these missions, and then you have real players that you have to contend with as well. It's not as aggressive with the real players because they're busy doing their own missions also, but you do run into each other doing those same missions, and you're gonna have to fight it out with them. And it's cool because you know the gear that you bring from the game that you know acquire in the game, you'll lose it if you die totally, right? Which is pretty cool. Even weapons that you've like leveled up, that your personal weapons, if you bring those in the game, they are insured, but you'll lose access to them for several hours, which is a cool aspect. So I didn't have a lot of experience with games like Escape from Tarkov. So DMZ is my first real experience in playing that, and I enjoy it. I like it a lot. Again, it's like a hybrid of like story mode campaign missions in a online kind of environment. It's like a co-op thing with other players too. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. It's fun. You can just kind of chill out. You don't have to get so sweaty like if it would be regular multiplayer or regular battle royale with with Al Mazrah with Warzone. So that's pretty cool. Different. It's good to level up as well. It's cool. You also have the invasion, which is like 50 on 50. I think just two teams just kind of slugging it out. Whoever gets the most points wins. But that's very very sniper, or a lot of snipers in that. You have bots that you go against, but all the real players are sitting back with their snipers and just picking you off. So I don't know. It's good. It's fun. But nothing too strategy based or whatever. So that's cool. Now, with the whole Warzone aspect of it, with the new map, again, in my opinion, this is my point of view, I felt that Modern Warfare 2019 with Verdansk, that is the status. That's the benchmark, right? That's the bar. Even the tweaks they made when Cold War came out, in my opinion, made it worse, but it wasn't, it didn't really affect it too bad. It was just mainly cosmetics. When Vanguard came out and Caldera came out, that was when it really, I lost a lot of interest in it. Even though it was the same mechanics, the map was just, I hated it because I hate maps that have a big, giant, like high point in the middle. Caldera had this big mountain in the middle, and every game you had to either go up it or around it, and you're always fighting like an uphill, downhill battle. It just really, I did not like it. Now with the new map, they still have that in the game. There's still a high point. There's like one major high point. There's a few lower ones, but it's still in a central part of the map, or more, not as central as Caldera. But I still, in the games I've played, have found myself having to either climb up it, climb around it, get in those uphill, downhill battles. And I hated that. With Verdansk, all the high points were on the outer edges of the map. The map was like a bowl, right? So the high points were on the outer edges, and then it funnels you into the center. And the center had multiple, like, medium-size, high ground areas. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing too crazy, but just enough to kind of, delineate the line of sight. So it wasn't just a flat plain. Plus, you had the buildings and things. You had the city area. So, but with the new variant from Infinity Ward, you can swim, right? You can use water, you can use boats now, which is a big deal. And this new map, their whole entire approach to Warzone, their battle royale with Infinity Ward, it's very, and everyone is saying this, it reminds me a lot of PUBG. Player Unknown Battlegrounds is a battle royale game. Very popular, well known in the PC community. They came over to the platform community with the game. It didn't perform as well. It was a little buggy, right? But this game definitely reminds me of PUBG. You have a backpack. You have to have different levels of backpacks to carry more stuff. And I don't know. It's much more slow paced than Verdansk. And it just doesn't grab you like Verdansk. I mean, when I was playing, back in 2019 when that came out, I mean, I couldn't. I wanted to play more maps, more, not more maps, but more games. I wanted to keep on playing it, keep on. It just kind of like grabs you, unlike any other battle royale that I played. And I've played them all. I've got wins on all of them. I've played them all. I've enjoyed most of them. Even though Modern Warfare 2 is a step in the right direction. And what I mean by that is that it's way better than Caldera, so they're moving up. I do enjoy it. I do like the map. It's not Verdansk. I don't like it as much as that. It's better than Caldera though. It just doesn't grab me. It doesn't pull me in like 2019 and Verdansk did. It really doesn't. The gameplay is much slower, and people are like, "Oh, Ty, people are still learning the map." Blah blah blah. Well, I just think the whole aspect of the game is just slower. So it's not just because of people learning the map; it's just the fundamentals of the game. The sniping, getting the headshots and things, it just doesn't really hit. When you get a headshot, it just cracks the armor. It won't down them, which is good and bad, I guess. But when you crack off a 300-meter headshot, you expect to down the player, and not just crack their armor. You know what I mean? So little things like that. I'm sure things will get tweaked. I'm sure things will improve. I'm confident of that. I still, the map is just not there for me. Again, Verdansk kind of spoiled me on that because I thought it was such a good map. It was perfect for a battle royale, perfect size. The way they made it was just perfect. And again, my main point is I just hate having those large high ground areas like a mountain in the middle of the map, because it always seems like the end of the game is over there, and it always seems like every game you have to deal with that, and I hate that aspect of it. I hate that high ground. There's always going to be a high ground kind of like aspect where that's going to be the strong point, right? But not to where it's like a giant mountain. And it's hard to climb up it. You'll get caught in the gas because of it. Dumb things like that kind of, piss me off. But again, it's a move in the right direction. Okay, so overall, people ask about when I stream this game. It's not GTA, but when I stream it, people are like, "Ty, should I buy this? Should I get this game?" And you have to ask yourself, are you a PvP player? Do you play PvP games? Are you a FPS player? Now, this has third person, right? You've got that, so you can do a third person battle royale, which that may be better for you. That's very PUBG. It's very Fortnite as well. So if like the motion sickness thing is a problem for you, you have that aspect of it. But again, Warzone is free, and even though you can't get the loadouts like you used to be able to, I wish I could just buy my loadout with my squad and get everything that I've worked for to level up. Now with this rendition, it's much more expensive. It's 5,000 per like each primary gun, so you have to buy your primary, then your secondary. But this is what Infinity Ward did, and I think it's very smart. They knew that Warzone would be free, so for the players that get it for free, they don't actually buy the multiplayer variant. They're not upgrading the weapons. They're not leveling them up as quick. So what Infinity Ward has done is that they've made this version of Warzone to where the ground loot is very good. I find in every game I have found myself using either the ground loot all the way to the end or just having one of my primary weapons. Very rare will I get both of my main weapons. So I think that's smart on their side. They knew that this would be a free game and players would be getting it, and they would be at a disadvantage because players that have the full game, the multiplayer, would be leveling guns up, and they buy their loadout, they have all their high-powered guns. And in Verdansk, the ground loot was definitely not as good as it is in Al-Mazrah. So I thought that was a smart, very calculating move on their part. So fair dues on that. And that's an aspect of it that you have to understand. So they kind of encourage you just to really use the ground loot weapons. They discourage you to have your better quality, and that kind of levels the playing field a little bit for people who are just kind of casual, jumping in, don't want to spend the $70 on the multiplayer game because they're not big FPS shooter type kind of players. So with that being said, to answer that question is, yeah, I mean, definitely start out with the Warzone part of it, right? Start out with Warzone. You can level the guns up. Again, it's a much fairer playing field with the weapons because of the new system that they have with the loadouts. So I absolutely recommend. The only downside is that Warzone is like 118 gigs on the PS5, probably similar on the Xbox. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a larger game than most of your games, but it's free, and you now have a fair playing field, which I applaud that. I just wish, again, I'm still, really, I still really favor the Verdansk style of the Warzone Battle Royale. The map and the whole gameplay part of it. But this, Al-Mazrah with Modern Warfare 2's Warzone is not bad. I just wish it was, where we came from with Verdansk. So absolutely, give it a shot. It's free. Try it out. See what you guys think about it. See if you like it, and go from there with it. So you're not really losing out anything. You could always just, remove it from and delete it out of the game and just have it in your library if you want. So there you have it. That's my opinion. That's my point of view as a GTA player. Check it out, man. Go for it. It's free. You're not going to lose anything, all right? Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel for the Ills or Reels content in the game. Smash that like button. We'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. Yeah.